going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day I was scrolling through Twitter, and I saw something from Nickmercs, a little claim on the Call of Duty community. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be honest with you guys. I think the mass majority of you all will probably agree with what Nickmercs has to say here. But I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm going to come to the Call of Duty, community's defense on this one and try to play a little bit of defense. I know I'm going to get, again, roasted and destroyed for doing such a thing, but I think there are legitimate answers to what Nickmercs, has here. But ladies and gentlemen, of course, before we go and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And of course, all the support means the world to me. The likes, the dislikes, the comments. You guys know I love it all, and I love interacting with you guys as well, so I really appreciate it. And of course, last but not least, we do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. And this Saturday, today, we're doing OG COD. So of course, if you guys are interested in seeing any OG Call of Duty games, Call of Duty 2 up to the jetpacks, tune into my stream. Like I just said, it's going to probably be up around like 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see right here from Jake Lucky over on Twitter saying, they, Activision, obviously don't care. And why should they? The majority of these guys just complain all day, but still load up. Nickmercs agrees Call of Duty players need to stop playing and promoting the game if they want actual change. Now, of course, like I said, I know a lot of you guys are probably going to agree with this statement, but I'll be real with you guys. Like I said, I think there's some good defensive points to be had here. Now, when Nickmercs says this, there's two different sides to people who enjoy playing Call of Duty. We have the content creators, which I think Nickmercs is mostly talking about here. People, promoting the game by playing it, even if they are complaining about it. And then, of course, the casual audience. Your every, day player who hops on the game and still continuously plays, even if they're having a rough time, a rough experience, so on and so forth. Now, I don't know where I really want to start, but I guess I could start with the content side of things. For the content creators, I don't think he's really being fair. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think he's being fair because in reality, for content creation, you really have to find your niche. Nickmercs is in a very special spot here. No matter what game he goes to, no matter what game he gravitates towards, he's going to pop off. He's going to make a ridiculous amount of money probably. He's going to have tons of followings. And, they have a pretty tight-knit group at the top there of people who can, kind of transfer their viewers to one another pretty equally because they're always squatting up with one another. He's in a nice position. And this is no hate at all. It's great. It's phenomenal that he's able to do that. And I think every content creator strives to get to that point. When we start off small, we have to try to stick to a niche and grow. But as we get bigger and bigger, I think the end goal for pretty much everybody out there is to be able to play, do, and talk about whatever we please. But for the majority of people out there, even the pretty decently big people, like think of Exclusive Ace, for example, a channel that is pretty dang big. We don't move from the niche because, again, it's not smart for our channels. It will pretty much kill all the progression anybody has built towards, their goal of building up a YouTube channel. Now, again, there's people who don't really take it as serious. They don't mind, and they will go and take the variety content route, which is a viable route. You can grow that way, 110%. But it's a slow road. The best way to build in gaming, at least. In other, niches, I don't know. I don't know how it is for finance. I don't know how it is for tech. But when it comes to gaming, I've tried this multiple times before, and even on this channel, I did take a year of my time out of the way to discuss. I was freaking talking about Stray, the cat game. Okay, and it was actually really fun. I took that route, and it's a rough one. You will see, numbers. Some videos will indeed pop off, but growing a consistent community, which a lot of us want to do, we want our communities to grow consistently, is hard when you bounce around so much because when it comes to gaming, as strange as it sounds, every game has their own mini communities, dare I say. And every single time you branch out to another game, you lose people, you gain people, you lose people, you gain people. But when you stick into a niche as a smaller creator, you just kind of grow within the game. You grow within the community, if that makes any sense. But again, for the defense of a lot of the content creators, they don't have that opportunity that he necessarily has. You know what I'm saying? He has the freedom to go wherever he wants to go, to play whatever he wants to play, and he knows for a fact it's no doubt whatsoever it's going to affect anything on his channel. He could just, transfer, and he's going to be doing perfectly fine. So, it's rough, but it's the truth. And again, for a lot of content creators, we want to see the game improve. We are Call of Duty fans. So, of course, we enjoy playing the games. And I've said many times before, I actually like Black Ops 6. I don't think Black Ops 6 is that bad of a title. There's just other things that are holding it back. But as a Call of Duty fan, I want to see it strive. I want to see it improve. I want to critique the things that Activision are doing, but at the same time, I want to critique how Treyarch is handling the game. And I'll be real with you, the majority of the people who make content, like I do or many others, we're not adding to the numbers of this game. If we were adding to the numbers, if we were truthfully promoting these games, then the numbers wouldn't be plummeting like they are right now for Black Ops 6. We don't make up anything. What makes up Call of Duty, what allows Activision to do what they do, is the casual audience, not the creators. We literally have no say. It's the casual audience, the people who don't look at YouTube, the people who don't watch streams. Call of Duty is a big name. It's a big project. It's a household name. Everybody knows about it. They don't have to log into social media to hear about it. No, they're going to look on their TV. It's going to be a commercial that pops up. They're going to say, oh, look, another COD. And they're going to scoop it up. Those are the ones who make up the mass majority of, the Call of Duty world. And also, their money is what is going to be the final deciding factor, not the creators, and especially the ones who have, plenty of negative things to say about what's going on within Call of Duty. And also, let me go ahead and add this in here as well. Wasn't Nickmercs the one who said he wasn't going to touch any more Call of Duty games whatsoever after his fallout with Activision and all that drama and crap that's going on, yet he still went ahead and loaded up Black Ops 6, played Black Ops 6, plays all the new titles. I'm assuming, taking checks from Activision still to go ahead and play these new titles. Just seems a little bit funky. I understand that he leaves afterwards, but isn't it kind of strange that, someone is saying that it's weird for, people who want to see better for the game that they love so much or the franchise that they love so much to continue to play that franchise that they love so much. But he, on the other hand, can take checks for this game from Activision to partially promote it and then leave whenever, he feels. I don't know. It just seems a little sketchy to me overall. But this final point here is more so to the defense of, this is towards the casuals too, the people who obviously don't make content and they play because they enjoy Call of Duty, but this is also towards content creators as well. I think it's for everybody as a whole. But there's genuinely no other games like COD. There just simply isn't. Now, me, myself, personally, I love playing all different types of games. I play everything from tac shooters like Rainbow, Valorant, CSGO, even other, like mid-tac shooters to like milsim type games like Body Cam or Insurgency Sandstorm, over to straight up milsim games like Squad or Hell Let Loose, to, arcade FPS games. I enjoy the finals, games like Battlefield, Call of Duty, I play all different types of FPS games, even third-person games. I used to play Uncharted multiplayer, The Last of Us multiplayer. I love Gears of War to death. Still one of my favorite franchises, and I'm planning on talking about Gears of War E-Day. Fortnite I dabbled in a little bit, even though it's not really my cup of tea, so I fell off pretty much right when it dropped, but still, whatever. PUBG, when I was third-person before they made the first-person mode, used to love playing that, and I still enjoyed it after first-person. I love all games, but from all of my experiences combined, there is not a single game out there that is true competition to Call of Duty. There just simply isn't. There's some alternatives, but the alternatives just don't make the cut. They just simply don't make the cut. So there's nothing else to really branch out towards. Again, in the content creation scene, you have to try to stick to that niche. And when there's a game that's very similar, you can branch out. But if it's too different, it's going to affect the algorithm dramatically. But again, over to the casual players as well, people who casually enjoy 6v6 COD. Seriously, where do you want them to go? I've tried to get, people who enjoy that casual 6v6 experience to try different things like Halo, Battlefield, Gears. I've tried to get them to play a lot of different stuff, but again, it doesn't scratch that Call of Duty itch. It just doesn't. And when there are other alternatives, people don't really want to support them too much. X-Defined is a perfect example. Of course, the game didn't launch in the best of states, and of course, it didn't have tons of content to really play, but the vision of what that game was all about was, perfect. It's exactly what the Call of Duty community wanted. Content that dropped every single month. A respectful, honest development team. A game that actually felt like a 6v6 COD experience that was fun and fast-paced, action-packed. And also, let me not forget, no skill-based matchmaking. Nobody supported it. Nobody supported it. You see, this is the problem here. All these other people do the same thing. They play the same game. He's coming at the COD community for complaining and still playing, but Overwatch players do that. They complain about Overwatch and still play it. Battlefield players do it. They complain about Battlefield and still play it. Because again, nobody's lucky enough to be like, how he is in his own position. And with that mindset, with that knowledge, they stick into their niche. But when other games drop, they branch out and play them. Like Marvel Rivals, perfect for Overwatch players. Delta Force, perfect for Battlefield players. Although, things are going on. But still, it adds for more things to talk about and play. But Call of Duty, I guess I can kind of agree with Nickmercs on this one. I guess I was using this defensive point against him. But the more I talk about it, the more it kind of lines up with what he's saying, It's like we did have an alternative. And nobody wanted to load it up. Nobody wanted to play it. Nobody wanted to give it a little bit of respect, Knowing, and again, we know that it was going to be a process. And the developers were open with us. That was going to be a process that was going to take a lot of time to complete. And of course, it was getting rushed out the door by Ubisoft because they wanted to try. There was so many things that were going on behind the scenes. But again, nobody wanted to give it any time of day. So, these are our situations right now. And that's why people stick with COD and keep, trying to improve it by, giving good feedback, good criticism, and trying to, work around it. Because again, we love this franchise. We do. And there's no other alternatives to really play. There's nothing else that plays like COD. It's just as simple as that. If someone wants their Call of Duty fix, where are they going to go? If they're not in the mood for playing a tac shooter, if they're not in the mood for playing a more, bigger environment like Battlefield, if they're not in the mood for longer time to kills and, more strats like in Halo, if they're not in the mood for a third-person shooter like Gears or Fortnite, if they just want to play simply a first-person 6v6 game that's like COD, COD is their alternative. There's nothing else to go to. And that's why, indeed, in my opinion, a lot of people continuously want to play this franchise. But I'll be real with you guys. To go ahead and summarize this video up here, in the beginning, I didn't completely agree, but now at the end of it, after having all of these discussions, like I said, I'm 50-50. I agree, but at the same time, I disagree. I disagree because I think, once again, it's hypocritical for him to come forth and say something like that about content creators who, enjoy this franchise and want to see it do well, while he also takes checks constantly from Activision, says he's not going to play the game, and then still goes ahead and returns, and also not understanding how, it works for a lot of content creators. Like I said, for example, Exclusive Ace and many other massive names, JGod, plenty of people who want to see the franchise thrive, but again, they understand that the algorithm works in a specific way. You bounce around too much, you screw yourself, so you have to kind of stick in a lane, and the fact that he doesn't want to acknowledge that kind of sucks. But at the same exact time, I agree, because when we do get other alternatives, nobody wants to support them. Me, you guys know me. If there's another alternative to COD, I will grind it out. And the thing about it is that when I say stuff like this, people will say, well, Marvel Rivals is there. But that's not an alternative, guys. You have to understand. Yes, it is a fun game. Yes, I enjoy playing it. But is it an alternative to COD? Is it competition to COD? No, it's competition to Overwatch. Same thing with Delta Force. Competition to Battlefield. These games are not true competition to Call of Duty. And when there is true competition, I always support it. I'm always there trying to back it up, give it a little bit of love. But right now, we're not there anymore. And I do agree that a lot of people, they talk the talk. But when the time comes and we get an opportunity, nobody really walks the walk. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to rant your guys' ears off. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this overall discussion here. Do you agree with Nickmercs? Do you disagree with Nickmercs? And what do you think about my overall, takes on this discussion that we had? But as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And as always, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch. You guys find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.